Hi everyone, Emily Cleghorn here. So in today's video, we are going to make our quilt sandwich. I have our backing for my blanket for my son all set. So when you're making your backing for a blanket, it's important to remember to have enough on hand if you're making a small blanket so that you don't have to add anything on. For myself, I didn't quite have enough fabric on hand, so I had to run to the fabric store and pick up some more. So if that's the case, make sure that you buy the same fabric if you want your fabric backing to all be the same. I know sometimes people like to make a more interesting quilt back on our wedding quilt back there that I'm not quite finished yet. We've only been married for almost 5 years. No big deal, right? On my wedding quilt back there, I made the design of a heart, and maybe in another video sometime I'll show you. But for this one, the back's all going to be the same. So to prepare my back, I measured out how much extra I needed to add on to it. And I went ahead and I cut that amount off of the extra fabric that I bought. And I sewed it on just like you would sew anything else. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press down this seam so that it doesn't cause problems later on. Okay, so my iron, the light turned green, so I know that it's ready to go. This is a Sunbeam iron. I just had to reinvest in my iron, and it has the capabilities to be wireless or corded. So, so far I really like it. It has all of the settings that I need. The plate is really smooth. So I'm just going to press down my seam. So I wanted to let you know that I am in the process of planning out a intro to sewing course. If that's something you would be interested in, maybe let me know in the comments. And you could also let me know if you would be interested in learning how to sew by hand or by machine. I can do either. So there's that coming down the pipes. And if you know anybody, just reposition my fabric here. Oops. If you know anybody that might benefit or is looking for a sewing class, maybe let them know. So a release date isn't anywhere in my sites yet. I'm getting a feel for what people are interested in. All right, so our next step now is to make our sandwich. Okay, so for this step, you're going to need your quilt batting. For this blanket, I'm using Nature's Touch 100% cotton batting, and it's already the correct size for my blanket. It's a crib size, 45 inches by 60 inches. And you'll also need some safety pins. Okay, so what I've done is I've laid my quilt backing on the floor. So the next step, I'm going to open my, you'll also need your quilt top, your backing, your batting, your quilt top, your safety pins. Okay, so you open it up. And you lay it on top of your quilt top. Okay. I don't worry right away if the batting is a little bit too big. You can always trim it down later. Okay, once you have that done, you lay your quilt top on. And then try and match that up to your bottom as best as you can. Okay, so once you have your sandwich made, in order to hold it all together, you use your safety pins. So, let's get them open here. So you don't need massive safety pins, but safety pins that are big enough that you can see what you're doing. So what I do is I'll put one in the middle of each square. So you go down and up and close the pin. And you'll do that all over your quilt. Alrighty, see you next time. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you get notified for part 4. In part 4, we will start quilting, and we will start getting our binding strips ready. Have a great day. Thanks for sewing with me.